All right, folks, give it another minute here. Just do a quick little cleanup. Hello, everybody. Welcome to yet another stream. Oh, yeah, sorry, this one's going to be a little shaky. Been sitting in the office a bunch recently, so now I'm going to sit on the couch and we're doing from here. So we'll see how that goes. I forgot to start my music. I put in the headphones, got halfway there, but forgot to actually start the tunes. So now we're going to do that and go from there. Wait for it. Why are you going to play that? There it goes. Yeah, so tonight what I want to do is I've got my website, which right now is under alanwsmith.com, which is still going to be under that. But it's hosted on Rackspace, and which is fine. I've been using them for a long time. And I use a engine called Jekyll, to a static site engine called Jekyll to build it. And so the difference between a static site and a dynamic site, which is one way that you can kind of think of them, is a static site, or with a dynamic site, whenever you load a web page, you send a request from your browser to the server, and he says, hey, give me a web page with the home page. And the server kind of wakes up and says, oh, you want the home page? Well, let me go grab the headline, and let me go grab a few different stories, and let me go grab a couple different images, all from links to images, all from a database, for example. And it takes all those pieces and then puts them together and assembles a single web page and then sends that down to you. And so the next person comes along and says, hey, I'd like to see a web page that's the home page, and the web server goes through the exact same process again. There's caching, there's all different ways that you can do this stuff, that's fine. This is just the most basic version of it. A static site is slightly different, where once you only build the homepage one time. So you basically run something on the server that says, hey, build the homepage. It does all the same stuff and it builds the homepage. But that way, whenever a browser comes in and says, hey, give me a web page, it's already built. So the server doesn't have to take time to actually move all the pieces together and assemble it and send it down the pipe. That's the most basic version of it. So generally speaking, what that gets you is a faster site. It's also less horsepower, takes less power to do it, to generate it, so less CPU usage. So if you end up getting a lot of traffic with a dynamic site, you can melt the server, you can overpower the CPU, and the server goes down. You see like errors, or you don't get web pages back. Static sites can handle a lot more traffic, generally speaking. And also you can put a caching engine in front of it, which is something I've done as well, so it should be super fast. In fact, so let's just go web page test. alanwsmith.com. I'll just do a quick comparison, or just a quick look, just to give you an idea about how fast the site runs. And some of this too is that the site's not complicated. Like there's only, so right now there's a video on it and a few images. So that's all we got. And a bunch of links to web page test links. Load time 2 seconds. Oh, that's a long time. Start render 1 second. Ooh, that's way slower than it should be. Should have gone much faster. Something got hung up there. Cloudinary took some time to get some images back. I don't know. jQuery MS took some time. Oh yeah, so it's using jQuery and Bootstrap. I may see if I can get away from those. Actually, don't know why I'm using those. Oh, is that? Oh yeah, I was using Bootstrap for this stuff, the responsiveness. So whatever. So it runs off Jekyll, and right now, so I've got a copy of my website, and so basically the way that works too is the way that you build the site, or the way you set up the site, and this is a copy, not where I actually keep it. Oh, why is that slow? Wow. Oh, probably because I'm broadcasting and I can hear the machine spin it up. So basically, this is get rid of that since it's the same thing. This is how my site's built. So inside this prod folder and inside these pages, no, posts. Inside this post folder, there's a whole bunch of individual markdown files. And so what the Jekyll engine does is it looks at these markdown files and yeah, so how to create an Amazon Web Service identity access management, blah, 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 blah. If you look at that, that's this right here. So that's on the home page, and if you click the link, this is what it actually goes to. So the way that Jekyll and a lot of these static site generators work is you make markdown files, which this is just a text format called markdown, and you don't write HTML. You just put it in as basically plain text without any HTML in it. Then when you run the, then what you do, Jekyll build, is that going to work here? Is you build the website. Something seems wrong there. Oh, yeah, something was definitely wrong there. It's supposed to be in prod. Let's try it again. There we go. So, I'm going to blow that stuff away, so it doesn't matter. I just ran it in the wrong place, so it built this sites directory. But really what's going to happen now is this, I ran Jekyll inside this prod directory right here, and it is going to output to this HTML directory. And I've got it set up to basically throw everything at what's called the site root. So it's all sitting there at the top. There's different ways that you can have all the pages built and different structures, but I just did that. And the reason I did that is because I like URLs that look like this, alanwsmith.com/how to create whatever. Lots of sites, and like WordPress by default would have gone 2019/whatever/whatever, and then that. I prefer not having the dates in the URLs. One change that I am gonna make is I want to have at least one level of classification here for something like posts or blog. I'm probably gonna use posts, just because I don't know. It feels a little bit weird to have them. I do like them all the way up top. I don't know. I'm going back and forth on that. But the other thing I'm eventually going to do, or we'll do as part of this process as we get to it, is I'm going to make it dub. There's some cookie reasons to do that. Basically, if you have a cookie in a web browser and you don't have www.alanwsmith.com and you just do alanwsmith.com, those cookies can be seen by every other part of the domain. So if you think about it kind of as a wall where you can only go back so far. So if there's a www, anything, so like something.www.alanwsmith.com could get to the www part. And then if there was, secure.alanwsmith.com, those items would be separated from each other. If there is no www or no secure or whatever, and you just had alanwsmith.com, cookies are set at that level, and everything in front of them, including www and secure and my other page or my other domain or my other subdomain .alanwsmith.com could all get access to that same cookie. So I'm going to go back to using www.alanwsmith.com for that kind of, it's basically a security reason. Even though it kind of doesn't matter, but it does just a little bit. Even though not really with what I'm doing, but it's kind of a best practice. So that's what I'm doing. Also, sorry again for the shake. I'm going to try and not do that as much. So anyways, what ends up happening, so if we look at this file, which is the markdown file, and yeah, once again, I need to, how do we do this? Yeah, I did all that stuff, cool. To do update Sublime text style to not be weird. So I've made this little checklist. This is what I do to get set up for things. And of course, I did this and I did this and I did this. Whoops, whatever. For all the completionists that would be freaked out if that's not there. So anyways, we've got this markdown file. And then what happens when we run the build command is it goes into this HTML directory, and which is this how to create. Okay, so in HTML here, this is all the stuff that gets created. FGH, find me H. There should be how to create an IM. Yeah, so see, it takes all of this from the title and then it moves it into this URL. So this is the HTML, the actual HTML that gets rendered from that markdown file once you run the command, and that is the HTML that we. So if you view source here, you'll see this is the exact same thing. So whatever, here's the title. Here's the title. We get onto the body. We get on the body. It's all going to be exactly the same, because that's literally what's hosted. So the thing that I want to do, and you can see, so Jekyll took 22 seconds to load, and also it doesn't have a great. I don't know. I'm curious to play with other things and see if there's a faster one, if there's a faster static site engine out there. And then also Jekyll doesn't really have themes built into it. You can kind of copy down some themes, but and actually probably I'm not being super fair. I haven't looked in a while. Jekyll, so Jekyll RB. Yeah, they don't have themes listed on their homepage. Jekyll themes.io curated directory. Okay, yeah, so there's probably themes here that I could get, but whatever. I started playing around a little bit, and I've been looking at a couple things. One is the IndieWeb, as part of what I'm looking for some of the kind of the hub initiative, the kind of social media network that I'm working on. IndieWeb has a lot of the same ideas, and I've kind of been doing an IndieWeb without calling it that for years because I've had my website. Um, the first DNS record I could find said since 2000, but I think that's when I rebought it. I'm sure that I had it before that because I had it in college in the 90s, but I couldn't afford it for a while and it went away, so I had to rebuy it. And yes, I couldn't afford the $15 or $10, whatever it was, to buy it. But so some of the stuff I've seen on the IndieWeb and some of the stuff just looking around is this idea of the Jamstack website, which I find really interesting, for JavaScript APIs and markup. So making basically static sites with some JavaScript, making them more dynamic through APIs, which I like the idea of that. My site's really just straight static because it's just basically a blog. I don't do much with it. But I'm interested in this idea. And then also what's funny for me is when you look up Jamstack, you get into band stuff. So I started looking at static site generators, and found this post on Medium. They talk about Jekyll, which is the one I currently use, but then they also talk about Hugo. And whereas it says Go Program and Hugo claims it's the fastest framework for building websites. That's actually something I want, because it's having the time it takes to build the site engine for me, or site for me, it takes too long, like 20 seconds, especially, and like it goes faster when you can put a watch on it and it moves faster when you make changes. But like I like being able to see the changes that I make as fast as possible. So that's one of the reasons I'm looking at Hugo here, and one of the reasons I'm gonna mess with it. So we'll start doing that now. And so and then also, in addition to switching to Hugo, I also want to switch to using Amazon Web Services for my hosting. And so so the first thing I wanted to do is move to Amazon Web Services. Then I decided, hey, while I'm doing that, it would be interesting to actually see about moving to a different site engine, because that's a good time to do that. While you're in the middle of a move, why not completely rebuild everything, right? So anyways, so I've installed Hugo through brew install Hugo on a Mac. So I've got it running. Hugo version, which is how they tell you to check it. Verify the new install, Hugo version, so we're good there. So now we're going to create a new site. And so I don't know that I'm going to finish this today. We'll just see how far we get. That was 15 minutes of just preamble. Oops. No, actually, I don't want to do that. Hugo. New site, alanwsmith.com. There we go. Just a few more steps and you're ready to go. Download a theme into the same name folder. Choose a theme from themes like Hugo, or create your own theme with Hugo. Theme command. Perhaps you want to add some content. Yeah, this is weird. Download a theme into the same named folder. That's not the best thing. Let's maybe say into the themes folder, right? So we go in here, because what it tells us here is you go into the directory, get init, and then actually, well, yeah, we'll actually just do this. Get submodule. We're just going to copy that. And see, this puts it into the themes directory. Well, actually, let's actually look in there first. So, oh yeah, so this is everything that got created, which isn't very much at all. When we just built the site, that's funny. I thought there was more to it than that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to git add someone. I'm just going to copy this whole thing now. Let's get all that added. See, that added a bunch of stuff. That's why I don't want to create a theme myself right now. Yeah, look at all this stuff. Example site. Oh, there's an example site in there. Static images. I18M. Okay, so that's international languages stuff. That's cool. So it's got some languages in there. Screenshot, layouts. Oh, there's 404, so that's if you don't hit a page. Default taxonomy terms. At some point we'll go through all the. I have no idea what all this stuff is. I mean, you can come up with an idea based off the names, but other than the names, I don't have an idea what this stuff is. Post, list, rebut.text. Okay, cool. That's how you tell search engines what you want to see, they should see, and what they should index and what they shouldn't. CSS, static, distribution. Oh, cool. Okay, all kinds of stuff there. Oh, and then we've got so it wants us to put in theme and a key to the config file. I'm actually going to do it this way because I want to see what's in the config. Not a whole lot. We're going to do theme and then key. So all this is saying is echo, which is actually if we just do echo this, echo just prints that out. And then when you put the two arrows and a config into it, that says, and we'll do this now, and you'll see it twice now, that says write it to the config file, or the config.toml file, which I don't know what toml is. What is toml file apex extension? It's a configuration file format that's intended to be easy to read and write to the middle. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, it's config file. But now if we look at it, you'll see that there's two versions because when you do the echo, it goes in. So and actually, just so you see what's going on, echo, 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 which is funnier than I realized. So there's the 3 times that we did it, which of course we've gotten out. So anyways, back to Oh, we're way over. Where do we go? Quick start. So I'm going to go ahead and close some of these. So I've already bookmarked that. Yep. Do that. Run that. Jamstack. Pen. Yeah, so yeah, 5 weeks ago. Wow, I've been looking at that for a little while. Close that. Quick start. Okay. Now, new posts. Command fake content files. Oh, okay. Hugo, new posts. Actually, does the post directory already exist? No, it does not. Okay. Cool. Hugo, new posts. Oh, unless it's going to go in content. Nothing's in content. So let's see where it goes. Hugo, new posts. My first post. Markdown, right? Yes. Okay, so it put in the contents or content. Edit the new leaf. So we're gonna stay here. We're gonna go into content. It's gonna burn me almost for indefinitely. Usually with 3 letters, when you do tab completion, you can get to whatever file you want. But that doesn't work when the first 3 letters are the same. My first post. Hello. There we go. So check OBS. Oh, you know what I should be doing? We should put that away and see if that makes anything go better. Okay, so there we go. My first post draft's true. So this is not unlike the header. This is what you call front matter in between these three dashes and these 3 dashes or hyphens, whatever. And it's in a format called YAML, YAML. Yet another markup language, which basically just gives, we'll get into it a little bit. There's like, that's a key, colon, the value. But let's see what we got going on here. So in Markdown, this should be a heading 3. Did I ever put that back in? Yeah, there we go. So we'll save that. And now start the Hugo server with drafts enabled. And so I've gone through this once before. I'm just going through it again so y'all can see it. Whoops. Hugo server. CRV. There we go. So one thing that I really like, and I don't actually know if there's a time here, but like that got to total in 27 and 72 milliseconds. Granted, there's no articles in there yet other than the one, but that's super duper fast. I think when I ran it on Jekyll with the empty directory, I think it was either 2 or 4 seconds, maybe 2.6 or something. So way better, like way better. So, but the other thing that should do, pages 10. Oh yeah, there's went in 11 milliseconds. And so now, if we go to this link, which is on our local host, there we go. Miney site, recent post. My first post. This should be a heading. Oh no, it didn't work. Oh, there you go. So in this view, the heading didn't get called properly or didn't get made properly. But here's the H3, and then the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. There we go. So there's my first post. And so this goes into posts, my first post. And again, I may, oh, actually, you know what? Go to the desktop, go to roundlesscent.com. Nope. Wait, where did I do the other one? Did I do it here? Oh, yeah, I did. Oops. Yeah, oops, I did that in my home directory. Move Allen W. Whoops. There we go. Move allenwsmith.com to desktop. Now we can go to desktop. We should see it up here, right? Okay, does this work still? There it is. So we did Hugo serve-d. 36 milliseconds this time. So we go to desktop, allenwsmith.com, the first one. Test file.md. Actually, let's do this. Hugo new test file.md. Yep, so that just, oh, so it went into content. Oh, wait, I was already in the content directory. We do it here. Hugo new test file.md. There we go. Content. Okay, so the content directory gets created or defined from wherever you are, so it automatically goes into one directory. So if you're in the content directory already, that would have been a new content directory, so don't do that. And so now what we'll see, right? Yeah, vim new test file. Oops. And so something else that I saw that I think is going to happen. Change detected, rebuilding site. That's cool. I don't know what these warnings are. I looked them up at one point for one of them, and like, because I just installed Hugo yesterday, or maybe the day before, so there shouldn't really be any dead links or problems, but there apparently are. So I want to see what happens if we go here. Okay, so that didn't show up under the recent posts, but the question is, and I could find all this stuff out, I'm sure, but I'm just messing around. If we do new test file, does that show up here? It does. Okay. Cool. So that's how you can drop stuff straight off the root. That's good to know. I think I do want the categorization of having posts. So I think I'm gonna set that up. Okay, so that's how we're gonna move over the site, or that's what I'm gonna be using the site for. Now the next thing that I want to do is CloudFront. Excuse me. So what I want to use for hosting is Amazon's CloudFront. And I was looking at CloudFront and I was looking at API Gateway. So CloudFront is basically a content distribution network. So you can go see. Well, actually, why don't we do this? I wonder if computer audio is going to go through. This is worth watching for a second. Stand by.
Amazon CloudFront, a fast, highly secure, and programmable content delivery network service. With CloudFront, you can deliver your content and applications to millions of users at scale. You can deliver both static and dynamic content. CloudFront has a worldwide network of data centers called Edge Locations and is integrated with AWS at physical locations directly connected to the expanding AWS global infrastructure. You can use either an AWS origin or your own custom origin server. CloudFront helps you deliver content securely to your customers. You can encrypt your communications with a free custom TLS certificate from Amazon Certificate Manager, or you can import your own certificate. You also get DDoS protection with AWS Shield Standard by default. You receive comprehensive availability protection against all known Layer 3 and 4 network attacks. AWS Shield provides always-on detection and automatic inline mitigations that minimize application downtime and latency. CloudFront also integrates seamlessly with AWS WAF for application layer protection. CloudFront's infrastructure and processes are all compliant with a wide range of standards to ensure delivery of the most sensitive data. With the Lambda at Edge feature, you can run complex application logic closer to your customers. CloudFront and Lambda at Edge automatically scale and replicate your application logic globally without you having to scale your own origin infrastructure. You can go serverless and offer dynamic, highly personalized web applications with Lambda at Edge. Using CloudFront makes financial sense. Data transfer out from other AWS origins to CloudFront is free. CloudFront accelerates and protects many types of traffic, all under the same pricing structure. And with Amazon CloudFront's pay-as-you-go pricing model, you pay for only what you use. You can get started with Amazon CloudFront for free.
So that's CloudFront. The one thing that was new to me, I originally thought CloudFront was just serving of static assets. And recently they've added this Lambda Edge, which actually lets you have dynamic stuff happen over it. And it's crazy. The free tier includes 50 gigabytes of data and 2 million HTTP hits, which for my site is going to be more than enough. There's everybody that uses it. Asset caching, so it does caching to help speed things up. But I went to this little like simple tutorials thing, and this is where I got to. And so this is what we're going to do. I think I'm in the console already. Make sure. Yeah, so this is my little like throwaway. I built a throwaway Amazon account just in case it matters that people see this stuff. I don't think it does, but I've got different accounts for my actual stuff. But anyway, so basically what this is the next step, we're going to create a sample static site, static content in S3 bucket. In later steps, we're going to do this bucket for CloudFront origin, or as a CloudFront origin. Yeah, so Amazon S3 is a good choice for Amazon CloudFront origin that includes static sites such as Zim and whatever. I've already got an image that I've got. So that's a QR code for alanwsmith.com. And then I've already got my S3 thing open. So it basically wants us to make a bucket. So we're going to make a bucket. AWS PG is my just preface for AWS Playground. Like I find it nice to have, because S3 names are global across everybody in S3. I like just having that as a prefix. Playground, North Virginia is fine. Doesn't matter from that. Next. And so I don't care about versioning. I don't care about logging. This is all just test stuff. I don't care about any of this. I don't need encryption. And then here's the thing that I thought was interesting. So on set permissions, you can set permission access. They don't want you to do any actual permission stuff. And what was interesting about that is some of this before, and some videos that I've seen, people enable public access to the S3 bucket, but you don't have to do that in order to host a site through CloudFront. In fact, you shouldn't, because it's better to not have public access to the S3 bucket and just let CloudFront deal with it. So we do that, and then we create bucket. Oh, whoops. Whatever, aws.pg, that's fine. I should have put an extension after that, but I didn't. I want you to upload the file. Oops, what am I doing? There we go, upload. I should just be able to drag this here. And just hit upload. Well, actually, does it walk you through permissions or anything? Next, on the permissions tab, you'll make the... Oh, you will need to make it publicly readable. Okay. I don't know that you actually have to do that if you set up in a slightly different way. Oh yeah, see these notes are out of date. So you can't, because of the settings on the bucket. Here, we're gonna redo this. Just delete this. You gotta type the name. All good. Delete. Create bucket aws.pg.cloudfront test. So yeah, next on the set permissions panel, you can set access control permissions for a bucket. We won't enable this feature for this tutorial. But the trick is, the way that this works now is if you block all public access, you can't then make an S3 object publicly accessible. Again, I'm going to play with this later because I don't know that. So now that I've turned that off, I should be able to, when I upload the object, or when I upload the file, I should be able to make it public. Yeah, so right here, grant public read access. It just goes in standard because it's not going to go in an archive thing. There you go. I know this is running. And there's our file. Actually, so the question is, can I get to this right now? You can. So you watching on the stream can actually get to that too. Oh, hey, Johnny Plato. Actually, I guess I can just talk to you through stream. I'm not flipping over the chat very much, so in fact, it's amazing that I just did that right after you said hi 20 minutes ago. So yeah, if you go to this URL right now, oops, how to do this? You can see that same QR code because that's public, which I don't like. That shouldn't have to be public, and I don't think it needs to be. Add files next, grant public access. We just did that. Now we go to the CloudFront console. So when you click here, open a new tab for CloudFront. Hopefully it's cool to do this and not show, oh wait, didn't launch anything. Yeah, this tutorial's out of date. All right, this I've never done before. I've made S3 buckets before, and I've done file uploads. I do that all the time. I've never done CloudFront stuff before, at least not from scratch. So configure web distribution. I have kind of read through this a little bit, so I can burn through it a little faster. Web distribution specifies config for CloudFront. You can use it in Amazon S3 buckets or servers. Okay, yeah. So you can point. So CloudFront is what the web browser talks to, and then it sits in the middle, and then it talks to something else back behind it to get files. And so that can either be an S3 bucket or it can actually be a web server. So I could actually put CloudFront in front of my alanwsmith.com web server right now, and it would still do the same thing. But instead, we're going to point it over to S3. You'll choose the delivery message, web distribution. All right. So we're going to do one of these. Get started. Ooh, wow. Okay, lots of stuff. You will now configure settings. An origin domain name, select the S3, select the name of the S3 bucket you stored in the CloudFront. The origin domain name. Okay. What do we call it? I'm guessing that's really what we want. Select the name of the... Yeah, so there's all kinds of stuff here that we can play with, but that's actually not very good in their documentation. It should have told me to do that full name. Like, for example, yeah, they should use better examples. Origin ID S3WS. Okay, I think it filled that in, or I had to have. Create a distribution. Once you configure your distribution, CloudFront will create the distribution, propagate it throughout the network. Select create distribution. Wow, look at all that stuff. Did that take itself out? No, okay. Create distribution. Can take a few minutes to complete. After process is complete, in progress to deployed. Okay, so its status is right here. In progress. So this, we need to wait for this to say deployed. So I'm actually going to go while it's doing that. Create distribution web. I just want to look at some of the, all the so origin name, origin path. Oh, okay, so you can put it in a directory on. So the S3 bucket, it goes to the top level. You can put it underneath. Origin name, S3 bucket, media endpoint, media source, CloudFront. Okay. Origin custom headers. Okay, so that's when CloudFront talks to the server back behind it. You can pass headers to it to ask for different things. Default path. So eventually what I'll do for the viewer protocol privacy is I'll make this HTTPS only. The S is basically secure. And then, well, and actually what I'll do is redirect HTTP to HTTPS because my website is on HTTP now and I want to bounce it over to HTTPS. Links are still going to point to HTTP without the secure. So I don't want all those links to break. I want them to try and get that page, but then bounce it over to the secure site. Allowed methods, that's all good. Field level encryption config. I can't click on that. Nothing there. Cache modules, okay. Object caching. TTL is time to live. So that's how long files in the cache live, and the maximum, that's probably, I don't know, a year maybe. Default is in seconds. Is that a day? Who knows? Actually, let's do that. 86400 divided by 60. Minutes, hours, so 24 hours. Yes, that's a day. Smooth streaming, no idea. Review access, no idea. Lambda function access, aha. You can call Lambda functions. We'll get into that at some point. Price class. I want cheapest. I guess that's it. WAF is web application firewall, SSL certificate. All right, let's go see if this thing's finished. Still in progress. All right. Test your link. Disable distribution. Yes, disable. Congratulations. Okay. Okay, so CloudFront is super easy to set up. That's super cool. The next thing I'm going to want to do, so I talked a minute ago about how the URLs that I have, or the links that I have, are alanwsmith.com, and then there's no like /posts here. It just goes straight to the name of the file and how I want to add a post level, like that, which is going to be a blank page, or a dead page. In order to do that, what I need to do, and also when I also want to redirect all these things that are under alanwsmith.com to www.alanwsmith.com, which right now it goes the other way. So right now, if you see the www in there, when I hit enter, it goes away. That's because the site is explicitly redirecting it from www.alanwsmith.com to just alanwsmith.com without the www. So I want to go the other way. I want to make it go to HTTPS, and I want to add that posts in. And the way that you do that is what's called a redirect header, which in HTTP land is number 301. So what I need to do, let's see what this brings up. I thought I found one a little while ago, and this may be it. First enable website hosting in the S3 bucket panel. This is from 2016, so this may be different. Let me go into S3 here. Oops. Oh man, stream is slow. So yeah, so objects can be public. Somewhere there's properties, static website hosting. Type the name of the target bucket or target domain to redirect request to that bucket or domain. What? Put redirects. Oh, okay. So you can AWS S3 API, put object, ACL public read, website redirect location, URL, and bucket and key, old URL path. Okay, so let's look at this. AWS CLI redirect. Because that, I'm guessing that has changed. And we're just going to bounce through a bunch of links here. Trick, if you want to call that as best as much as the DNS name, point to it, and the name won't work. Website configuration file. Website configuration. Yeah, sometimes I'm going to get quiet while I'm looking through this stuff just because I put website bucket, website configuration. Output none. Bucket, content. AWS CLI website redirect. Yeah, keep hitting the same pages. Here we go. The web page redirect. There we go. Optional, configuring a web page redirect. All right, let's go back and actually check. We made a bunch of pages. Still in progress. Wow, that seems wrong. Refresh the page. Yeah, still in progress. Wow, it takes forever to get that set up. I'm super surprised. So it looks like they've got hosting a static website endpoints. So where did our S3 bucket go? Let's do two things. Make this -2. Actually, we're gonna do this. We're gonna come back with 2 HTML pages. I have no idea what these are, but that's fine. We're gonna go to the desktop. Go to S3. We're gonna jump on our bucket. Jump on the bucket. Actually, we're gonna make a new bucket. Host test. Oh, site host test. There we go. Create advanced settings. Where do you turn? Oh, I guess not. Permission. We're gonna take that off. Create bucket. Site host test. Properties. Static website hosting. Use this bucket to host a website. Index.html is the standard bucket site. Whoops. Standard name. So this is going to go here. Forbidden, access denied. Okay, so let's do this. Part of that might be because there's not actually an index file there, so we're going to duplicate that. We're going to make this index.html. We are going to upload all 3 of these files. And we're going to allow them to be public. And go. Let's see if this works now. Okay, so this is actually the index.html page. There's not a whole lot in it because there's no styles associated with it. But that's the page. So now we'll see if we can do the redirect. Oh, okay, so it looks like should be 3 files in there, right? So now we should also see 2009.html. Yeah, and then we should see 2015.html. No, 2015. Hey, that was from 2005. Look at that. Oh, that's when I had my LASIK. Nice. Which has faded since then. Sad. Let's see. So in this, if we want to try and redirect you can use the S3 console to redirect. Click on page 1 to keep content of the page 1 object and only redirect page requests. Choose page 1. Properties tab. Oops. Properties tab. Oh, metadata. Add metadata. website redirect location slash. So I'm in 2009. I want to go to 2015.html. So now, if we just go to the index, we'll see the 2009. If we go to 2009.html, it redirects us to 2015. Perfect. Okay, so that's how we do redirects in CloudFront. That's awesome. That gets me set up now to know how to basically do everything I need to do in order to move the site. The other thing that I want to do, that's super cool. Okay, that's good to do. Good to know. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to nuke that bucket. Goodbye, bucket. I like that you have to type the name. I'm sure you can copy and paste, but like you got to be really explicit about killing those things. CloudFront test is still going. Let's close all these. Oh, that's the other CloudFront I opened. There's that. There's that. Still in progress with CloudFront. I am super surprised with how. Oh, there it goes. Deployed. Now we need to see. I don't know what the domain name is. Oh, domain name. Here we go. Welfare. So that's because the only thing that's probably in there is this. Yeah, those directions aren't great. I could write better directions for that. There you go. So that's off at CloudFront. So that's sitting off their CDN. And the other question is, it's also got a secure version of it. That's super cool. So I can throw my site over there, and I can get an SSL cert from, which gives you the S from Amazon. Cool. That's cool. All right, so CloudFront's up and running. Super cool. I'm actually going to kill it now, or at least disable it, because I don't know what the pricing on this is. Disable. Yes. It can take up to 15 minutes. So one of the reasons it probably takes so long is because this is like building, throwing in a configuration, I think across 186 servers across the world. So that's why it takes a little while to spin up, I'm guessing, and shut down. So, but anyways, we got that running. So now the last thing I'm going to see if I can do tonight, in the next half hour or so, is migrate. First, I'm going to close down all these things. Oh, actually, let me do this too. I want to kill that CloudFront bucket because we don't need it right now. That was weird. Go delete that. I should have named that better with like CloudFront test instead of CF test. Whoops. Come here. So get rid of that. And that's just some stuff that I've got going on. That's my place. This is my sandbox, basically, my playground. This is one of the guys who invented Hugo or created Hugo. So I'm following him, and he also apparently did some Drupal stuff. I really liked Drupal a while back. It's a really neat application. I haven't messed with it in a long time though, so I can close that. There's CloudFront. There's CloudFront. Amazon Gateway. Whatever. Let's do this. Oh, actually, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, so I was looking at doing the 301, 302 redirects in API Gateway. I figured when I was first searching, I thought that may be how you had to do it. I didn't know you could do it directly in CloudFront or in S3. So that's super cool. Let's see. That's those weird errors that I got. Redirects. This is all stuff we solved. API Gateway, NDWeb. We've got. All right, I'm following him. I do want to watch that video. Videos. Whoops. To watch. There's my Hugo site again. Theme picker. Oh, some other themes I was looking at. Build static web pages. So you just call Hugo. To build out the site. 17 milliseconds. Oh, that's beautiful. I don't know where it went. Data layouts public. Did it go into public? Yeah, public wasn't there a second ago. Oh yeah, go into the public directory. So one thing that I saw that they had. Oh, so it's got live reload built in, which is awesome. And what that means is if you're running the test thing, and this is another thing that was working with Jekyll but stopped working because the software that I had for it stopped working and I couldn't find anything else. So it's great that this was happening out of the box. Like if this is being served, which it is, if we do Hugo new posts second post.md, you can see it immediately shows up right here. And then if we edit it, content, post, second post, this is a test. This is a test. You can see it go in right there, which is awesome. So those are super fast updates. So what's great about that is, I'm guessing, let's see if it works across the site. See, that's awesome. That's super fast. Because as soon as I hit save, it basically updates. That's way better than what Jekyll was doing, where it would take several seconds for it to update and me to see the change. To the point where I even made a second Jekyll site that only had like a couple different files in it to make that process go faster. But like all this stuff is fast and out of the box, so that's awesome. Super big win for Hugo. So live reload's built in. Disable live reload if you don't want it. Deploy your website. Dev does not generate files before building. Okay. Installing using themes. I'll go through all this stuff. But what I want to do, HUGO. Jekyll? Is that how you spell it? At some point I'll read this. Hugo import Jekyll. That's what I was looking for. Import from Jekyll requires 2 paths. Import Hugo. Path. Force allow import. All right, let's actually just see if this works. That's what's great about having these kind of. It's one of the great things about having a site like this is you can, or a setup like this, is I can just build this experiment, do it, and see what happens. Let's actually pause that while we're doing this. Hugo import Jekyll desktop alanwsmith.com Jekyll temp prod. What's I gotta do? 2 paths. So do we throw it into content or we throw it here? Target path extents is not empty. Okay, so oh. Wait, so did that just do... I think that just made... Hugo from Jekyll. I think I just made a completely new site, which I guess would make sense. Yep. Hugo serve D. Oh. Error building site. I'm actually super surprised that it didn't go. Where is it in content? We're looking post 2013. It made it that far, huh? (2013) 09 09. Wait. 09 26. Blue screen of death. Oh, it doesn't have. Wait, none of these have. Sure, that's not the first thing to have a photo in it. What's the error? Invalid character, pound sign. Looking for beginning of object key string. Let's see what happens if we do that. Does that fix it? So it looks like you can't have a photo at the start because it looks like it burned through that. 2014 0201. I own a laser gun. Yeah, so 2014 for. So now we're just going to go through and fix all these. There's probably a way to do that faster. I don't know it off the top of my head. Actually, I don't even know what that would be. 2014 1120. Making progress. (2014) 529. We went backwards. 2014 516. Still going backwards. So this is one of those things where it's just looking in the 2014 directory right now, and the files in there are random as far as the computer sees, because it doesn't worry about ordering them. There really should be a better way to do this. All right, anybody say anything? Oh, cool. (2012) 6. 2012 0614. Oh, I wonder. Oh, so this took off. This took off all the header information. Let's see if that does it. It does. Okay, so you can put. Okay, so you can put 2012 811. I wrote a bunch of stuff in 2012. Can you just do this? Nope. Looking for end to front load. Okay, can you do this? Yes, you can. Okay. I'm actually a little disappointed that the that it didn't keep some of the front matter. All right, this is gonna take a while. Okay, this is cool. So I've got the CloudFront set up. I've got the redirect set up. Um, so that gives me everything I need to do to move the site. Now it's just gonna be a matter of doing this import and getting everything migrated over properly, and that's just gonna be work. Um, I could maybe script that a little bit. In fact, I probably will script it because I don't want to lose. Is it still open? Yeah. So I don't want to lose the titles, and for descriptions, I don't want to lose a description. Um, so I'll probably script this over to migrate all this stuff. I see the directory structure here um, is basically the same. So actually, what I can do. Content, post, daily photos. Yeah, those are all going to break. So I'm going to delete this 2005. Let's just do 2005 and see if 2005, or which one did we just do? 2014? 2014 worked, right? So let's see what 2014 looks like. There you go, 900, so basically a second. Look at that. Localhost 1313. Uh-oh. Oh, we didn't add a theme. Actually, I want to read that at some point. So that one can go. Whatever, I'll just do this. This is also weird because this one says get clone, the other one said do get sub module. I'm guessing sub module is actually the better thing to do. Hugo serve D. About a second. Made a bunch of static files. All right. Worked for me. Did not work for me. Ah, all right. Found no layout file for HTML for home. You should create a template file which matches Hugo layout rules and combinations. What? Oh, is there no index.html? Is that what it is? Yeah, let's go look at the Finder. Let's look at the other site that we have set up. Post resources. All right, well that one works. So we're gonna do this. We're just gonna copy stuff in there. So I'm gonna get rid of these for now. I'm gonna get this and this out of there. Content. Posts 2014. Push that in there. No, that's where I built the Jekyll directory. It should need to be there. So Hugo serve D. Recent post, second post. There you go. First post. More all posts. There you go. Yeah, so none of those have titles. Oh, this is nice. Okay, I don't like the giant header up here, but I'm sure we can figure out how to get rid of that. Post function tabs. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff that I'm gonna have to go through and clean up. But that's okay. This is basically working. Yeah, here's where I was putting photo instead of stuff and the actual calls of the photos. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do a bunch of scripting to get this going. But that will be a thing for another day. So I'll work around how to do that, and those can be that can be what we work on next. So cool, moving the site. All right, that'll do it for now. Y'all have a good one, and we'll do this again sometime soon, and that'll be fun. See ya. Bye.